all you guys that made that car, I love you so much.
People, you don't realize there's 400K in this car. I get 400 right now. 400 is bid!
So I found this truck stop in Alabama, because in 3 or 4 miles, the maps were telling me that the road is closed because of a combination of an accident and ice. So, fearing that this might be the case, I brought myself a little homestead, and I got my my sleeping bag and a couple of pillows. It is Tuesday night. Car's got to be delivered in less 2.5 days, and
head northeast toward I-20 east, I-59 north.
Well, there you go. It's still trying to give me directions. All right, so this is the road to Scottsdale. I've taken off. It's been a long night already. The roads are icy. There's a huge winter storm that's been going through, and Google Maps are kind of acting funny. They keep redirecting me or suggesting alternate routes because they say so many of the roads are closed because of the ice storm. So I'm going to go as far as I can. I hope things start going a little bit better because it hasn't been great so far. So I've made it to Mississippi, and the good news is diesel is the cheapest I've seen it in, I don't know, a year, 2 years, $3.39. Everything is frozen here. The grounds are icy wet. When I came to a stop, my truck just slid on this, on patches of ice. I made it. This is the day that the vehicles were due. There's a lot of cool cars driving around. The worst part is how absolutely disgustingly, horribly filthy the car got inside the trailer. So I'm just gonna walk around and open it up, and all the road grime that's on the outside, I mean, it's just unbelievable. There's about the same amount of road grime on the inside of the trailer, and I'm not sure how that happened. This is more like a circus environment than a car show. There's hot dog stands and arcades and rides, and not really what I was expecting. This is not a car auction. This is an event. So to say this is intimidating is a bit of an understatement. For 2024, their goal is to have 2,024 cars go across the auction block, and he says they're already at 1,990. So they're only like 34 cars from their goal, which will be the biggest car auction ever. I didn't know we were allowed to do burnouts in here. Crank the wheel to the left a little bit if you would. That's good. This is Kids Day. Apparently tickets are cheap and you can get into the place for 20 bucks. They say Monday is kind of the biggest, or the first busy day. This is Saturday, which the show actually isn't even on today. This is just sort of a prelude to the week to come. All right, so the crowds are gone. It's time for us to take the car and get it out that door. We just got to make sure we've got a clean path through to it.
The whole idea of coming to Barrett-Jackson was not to sell the car, but just to basically gather eyeballs. So we've got a lot of people looking at the car here. We've got a QR code. People are scanning it, and the hope is that some of the folks from Barrett-Jackson who want to bet on this car are going to come to Hollywood at the Palladium and bid on it. And so really that's what this whole trip was about, is collecting eyeballs that ultimately we're going to turn and collect money, and it's all going to go to a great cause. So, you know, I thought it was good news that the rain was ending, only it turned to snow, and we were rerouted out of Phoenix to go to the north, basically to like Payson and Sedona toward Flagstaff. And turns out that the snow up here is just coming down at an unbelievable rate, and the freeway traffic is going everywhere from, you know, 5 to 15 miles an hour. And I don't know, it's almost like the odds have been against us, because we're hitting ice storms in Louisiana on the way to Scottsdale. Then in Arizona, we're hitting rainstorms followed by snowstorms. And I don't know, it's just kind of bizarre. Leaving Arizona, it turns out we've got a massive rainstorm. So I got through the ice storms on the East Coast, and it's raining leaving Arizona, and right now the roads are all completely stopped, and I'm making this detour to try and get to the point where I can actually move, and there is nothing but mud and ruts. There's actually 2 and 3 foot ruts in the road, and I'm just hoping and praying we don't hit any of them as we move along this horrid road. Good angle. Yep, all the way. Right now, just pull it back down. All right, so we can go ahead and bring the car through this opening. Whoa. So apparently Steven Tyler is about to show up, and of course this is Janie's Fund event, so Steven Tyler's the man, and I understand he's supposed to come over and take a look at the car, and you know, it was our honor to build a car for him, and so I got to tell you, this was a 5-month road that was a very tough road for a lot of people. It stressed out a lot of people. The road getting here was tough, but if this does the good for all of the women and children of Janie's Fund, then I guess no amount of pain was too much to pay for the sacrifice. So it's a very cool moment in my life, and I guess we'll see what happens in the next few minutes. I've left this space for you, and right here, if you can sign there. Thank you. Come on! Now, this is for my wall. Can you sign this also with the gold pen? So this is actually the original glove box that came out of this car that we got a nicer one for, but if you can sign this side of it. So the car, a guy who I worked for 10 years ago brought me the car back, and he said, you know, you built it for me 10 years ago, can you do a little more work on it? I said, sure, you shouldn't need more work. He brought it back and it was destroyed.
he had left it parked under a tree for 10 years, and there was nothing left of it. So we had to completely. He left it under a tree. It was infested with bugs and it had water bugs, cockroaches, termites in it. So we had to evict about 1,000 bugs and then rebuild the entire car, and we turned it into this.
Did you ask him what the fuck?
I did. He went through a divorce. He lost his garage, and he just didn't have any other thing to do with it. So when that happened, look, when he said he'd sell me the car for what he paid for it in 1970, and Ken had called me, and Ken had said, look, Steven Tyler would love for you to do a car for Jamie's Fund, and this guy wanted to sell his car, and it was a Corvette Stingray. It was a dream come true. So that's why I said yes. It was.
Which pen? Black?
If you would, just the gold is probably good on this silver.
It'll be good and dark. What? Got it?
And then
To you or to who?
No, just your name here.
Sure.
Either way, whatever you want. Thank you. That is perfect.
Enough? Yeah,
That is
good.
perfect.
All right.
Now,
Who did that and made it all drip?
that's Kelsey Grammer.
That's great.
No, I love the guy, so I was happy. Now, can you sign the glove box on the car that's going to be sold? All right.
Absolutely.
So anywhere in this black side right here if you want.
And you can fucking read it.
That's awesome.
Come on.
Can you go a little closer to it? Yes. Beautiful. Yes.
No kidding. Oh my God. Wow.
All right. So, okay, let me walk and talk. They got to get you back.
No, they don't. Tell me right
We're
now.
going to sell it. So Steven.
30 minutes? 30 seconds?
30 seconds.
All right.
So the Corvette Stingray, in my opinion, is the most beautiful car ever made. I mean, even prettier than any Ferrari. And so when this Stingray came into my possession, and I don't know if you know it, but I prototyped and redesigned this top for it. So this is my creation. And so when Ken asked me to build you this car, I said it's got to be a split window car, which is the most beautiful car ever built. So the theme of this car, now I got to give credit to my son here.
Yeah.
My son told
What
me.
you did.
So he's Zachary, and he told me about Batman, that Batman is an ordinary guy that did extraordinary things.
Right.
And I want this car, which is an ordinary car, right? It was built by a bunch of men in 1965.
Yeah.
I want it to do extraordinary things for Janie's Fund. And so for you, we built this car.
Did you tell him that? Wow.
He did.
You can't deny it. Putting those words, that's beautiful. Beautiful.
So I want to thank you. It's been an honor for us to work on this project, and to bring it to you has been one of the. I mean, it's an incredible moment in my life. So, Steven,
Extraordinary things.
that's it.
We're the winners.
Steve,
There's no trail or ego or
Let's go sell it.
bullshit.
no, this is we're just look. My team of artisans they're normal people, right? But when given a challenge to do something extraordinary, they took the challenge. The guys and gals, they worked weekends, they came in nights, they did it without pay because they were so involved in this project that you know, when it was for Janie's Fund, they said we're going to do it. So it's been our honor to do this for you. All right? It's been our pleasure.
And she said, Nick,
Absolutely. Do me a favor. Feel the seats, because we built the seats out of material that theoretically they say you can't build seats out of, and it feels almost like skin. So it's a truly sexy feel against.
Look at this speedometer. Andy, look at this speedometer.
Look at this speedometer. Jamie's Fund, and well, your logo is in the speedometer, right? We had it custom built for you. So this has been one of the greatest thing we've ever done. So.
I don't want to tell all the people that worked on it.
Gotta go to the table.
Would you like to meet them? Do you have a minute to meet them?
I probably don't have a minute, but I can say something to them now.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you're done...
We're running on a live TV show.
Sure.
So we gotta go.
When you're done, sir.
All you guys that made that
Yeah.
car, I love you so much. You did this for such a great reason. I know why you did. Ordinary people doing extraordinary things. You guys are the winners. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
We gotta go.
All right.
Lot number 7, ladies and gentlemen, Janie's Black Knight, 1965 Corvette Roadster, conceived and created for Janie's Fund by FantomWorks. This is an incredible vehicle, lovingly restored and customized by FantomWorks, especially for Janie's Fund. An iconic vehicle, 1965 Corvette Roadster, re-envisioned as the ultimate rock and roll car. A laser straight, black on black coupe, high performance beast. The man who cannot drive 55 may be up with us shortly, but first we're going to introduce Dan Short, the man from FantomWorks who built this car. Dan, please take the stage.
Thank you. It's an absolute honor to be here. And I need to tell you 2 stories. One is the story of the car, and the other is the story of the team. So the dream team that put it together is right over here. So when you work with such artisans, it's actually easy to create art. The 65 Corvette is better looking than any car ever created, even by geniuses of Ford, Dodge, and even Ferrari. The Corvette Stingray was the car that set the high water mark. And so when we started with that palette, we had to create something even more perfect. So we took the 65 Corvette and we added to it the split window top, the brand new Corvette engine, the LS3, paddle shift, carbon fiber engine covers, state-of-the-art transmission, state-of-the-art suspension system, a braking system of 3,500 PSI. I mean, this car runs like a new car and looks like the dream of yesterday that has never been recreated. So when the team of Ken, Steven, and Richard called me up and said, will you build a car for Janie's Fund? And we had a 65 Corvette available, the answer had to be one thing: yes. So we did it, it's here for you tonight. And what I want to make sure is you don't let anybody else take this car from you. So do not let somebody beat you out of this car when you can leave here with the most beautiful car ever created. And with that, I turn it over to Joe. Let's do this for Janie's Fund and all these women that need our help.
Thank you, Dan. They built an absolutely incredible car, 65/63. It's got all the bells and whistles. Anybody can just go buy a new car, right? But how about going and buying this car that looks like the 65, has all the bells and whistles that you want in a brand new car, and you can be the only one that's driving this one down the road, and this thing is badass. We had it at Barrett-Jackson. We featured it all week long last week. There were people all over this thing. I sold 2,000 cars last week in Scottsdale, Arizona, and this kind of car is what every single person wants right now around the country. So ladies and gentlemen, this is your opportunity for an unbelievable automobile this evening. Let's hear you. I had to get that money band who give 500. I had to get that $500,000 who get 50,000 and started out, and 50,000. I had to get. Oh my goodness!
I want this car. You have to understand something. I'm telling you, I want this car, so I'm going to bid on this car. So listen, you better outbid me, because otherwise I'm driving this car home, okay? I saw this at Barrett-Jackson. I was there. I tried to make an offer on it then. They said, no, it's going to be a Janie's Fund. I said, well, I'm going to be there, so I'll make an offer on it. All I can say is, I can't drive!
55!
55! Not in this car. Okay, let's go.
All right, here we go. 50 and 100. I'm handing it down 75,000 naughty. And 75 and 100. I'm handing it down 100,000 naughty. 125. 825 now. 50. 850, 75. And 175 on it. Handing it down 175. 5, 200. And 200. And 250. And 250. And 250. 300. And 300,000 naughty. And 300 is bid. And 350. And 2550. And 350,000 naughty. And 350,000 naughty. Ask her 350. And 350,000 naughty. Now I'm going to get out 350.
There's 400 in the car. People, you don't realize there's 400K in this car. I get 400 right now.
400 is bid. 450 is bid. Get your big boy pants off. How about 500? I had to get down 500 and 500,000 naughty and 500, 500. I'll let you play.
I'm gonna save my voice.
500 and 475. 475. Who wants it? And 500,000 naughty and 555 and 500. You want to get 500,000 naughty? Now I'm gonna get out. Anybody else? Grab out. 500 and 500,000 naughty and 500,000 naughty. Anybody else? All through, all done. Last call. Going back in at 500. 500,000 naughty and 500 and 500,000 naughty. Now I'm gonna get out. Camille's in the lead. 500,000 naughty. 500,000. Let me hear it, ladies and gentlemen. Sold for $450,000. Thank you, FantomWorks, thank you, Sammy Hagar, thank you.
Thank you, Stephen Tyler, thank you, Jamie's Fund. This is a wonderful organization. God bless you.
So, $450,000 for the car. I got a little bit of advice along the way, and they said could have made a lot more. And so we're looking at plans for this coming year, building another car, and see if we can get closer to that $1 million mark. If you've got any ideas on what you think we ought to do to get over the $1 million mark for great charity, give us some ideas and we'll keep it in mind, and we will let the winner know who had the best idea, and we'll get you a t-shirt signed by the crew at FantomWorks.